Back again with another episode of the Amazing Race 32 recap. We're going to recap episode 7, Kazakhstan. Very, very crazy episode. Finally, we had a team use the detour, or I'm sorry,
the yield.
The yield. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot of interesting stuff in this episode. But general thoughts on the episode, Goldberg?
Okay, yeah, I thought this one was obviously better challenge-wise than the other one. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the episode.
Yeah. Well, and I made a mistake last week saying Kazakhstan was in Europe. It was obviously in Asia. So it kind of makes sense that the Germany episode was the non-limb since they're leaving the continent. Seems like they do that quite a bit. So,
right.
Calbert, what was your thoughts on this episode?
I liked this episode. I thought this was probably it was the second best episode of the season so far. I liked this episode. Probably just because just some of the different stuff that they had to do. I thought it was interesting. So.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought the whole part where they're at the Kazakh film studio, I thought that was pretty good. Almaty. So first things first, Kaylin and Haley had to do their speed bump, which was they had to apply prosthetic beards to each other before they could continue racing. I thought this seemed like a breeze. What'd you guys think?
They literally, I'd have to go back into the memory bank and actually look it up. But I would say those are probably the two easiest speed bumps I think I've ever seen in the show. They had pretty much do hardly anything. I mean, give them credit. They did them both, and they did them both very well. But I didn't think either one was terribly challenging, other than, they looked silly wearing beards. But that,
right.
I didn't think it was too terribly hard. I was expecting something, especially now that now that we're getting down to we're at 7 teams presently. This would be this would be the time. If you're going to throw a speed bump here, this would be the time. Let's make it a little bit more difficult. Not to say that it's possible. You don't want to make it too terribly hard, but like applying beards to a makeup artist and then the makeup artist hands you the glue, like that's not hard. You glue and you stick the beard, to the left and to the right and right down the middle and call it done.
Just imagine if the Volley Bros had to do this. How would that have worked?
They would have been eliminated.
Yeah. They would have had to shave their beards on the spot or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that is not par from the course either, though. If you remember, I want to say it was season 7.
Are you going to bring up a shaved head thing?
Yes. A team won because the woman, the guy,
Rachel Riley. It's on my. I'm on Google.com, and I guess Google knows that I'm looking up Amazing Race a lot. And
yeah,
the article that came up is
even before
Amazing Race star Rachel Riley admits she regrets not shaving her head in season 20.
Yeah. Well, I think it was Amazing Race 7 where the team actually they chose to do the fast forward, which I haven't seen one of those in a while, but they did the fast forward, and their fast forward was she had to shave her head, and that's a main reason they ended up winning that season. That was a big moment in the show. So I mean, for a woman, that's obviously a pretty big deal to shave your head. So yeah. But anyways, so then we had the detour, and the detour was Great Khan Spy and Knockout Guy, each of which had a limit of 4 teams. And Great Khan Spy teams had to watch an action sequence and correctly answer a series of questions to receive their next clue. The 4 questions were: how many horses entered the village during the battle? How many warriors in the battle fought with an axe? How many warriors in the battle carried spears? How many times did the Great Khan call out to his warriors during the battle? In Knockout Guy, teams had to perform a choreographed fight scene before breaking a clay vase to retrieve their next clue. Which one are you guys picking here? Goldberg, we'll go with you.
Oh wait, what was the second one again?
I believe it was called The Great.
Right. It was either
Knockout Guy.
You go through the acting, or you watch a show and answer the questions.
And try to,
man. I think I would have watched the show. Probably, just because I wouldn't. I feel like that would be the easier of the two. But it turned out it probably wasn't the easier of the two. But that's the one I would have picked. I think Leo's still counting how many fucking swords were out there. Whatever it was. He's still not sure what counts as what.
Yeah.
Wait, that one has a flag on it, so does that count? I don't know.
Yeah. See, I think I would have done Knockout Guy, but I think either one I could have done. I could have done either one because I definitely know I would have picked the actual spears, not the ones with flags on them. I don't know why he would have thought
flags
that.
on them. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Gary and D'Angelo had a little arguing in this.
Yes,
part
they did.
Well,
yes, they did.
I mean, to be fair, like, how many times do you have to go through the scene?
He was nervous, man. You know, he just wanted to make sure he got it down.
Gary was going after D'Angelo here.
Yeah.
I can understand that, but I mean, at the same time, you can't sit and wait all day. Like, it's not going to be perfect, and obviously, as we've seen for the teams that did this challenge, like, you know, some of them messed up. They
I think D'Angelo knew that they had time because the blondes were still in the race. So
yeah,
I think he knew we got plenty of time. The blondes. They're shooing for last.
I would have done the spy challenge also, just because, actually, for that reason that I just mentioned, like the filming of the scene, or so the Knockout Guy scene, that's in tempo. I don't know necessarily if, and that's totally up to somebody else. That's up to.
But you know what I read? I don't know if you guys saw this. Is that I think I saw it on Alana's Twitter or something, that the actors would take 15-minute breaks in between each show. So they ended up sitting there for like 2 to 3 hours because they took them 10 tries to do it. So they were there for a really long time and just waiting.
Right. I think that's if I remember right, I believe that's exactly why the blondes chose not to do that challenge, because they would have had to wait. Because I think I heard over the loudspeaker the person said, or the loudspeaker person said, the next show starts in 15 minutes. Obviously, but yeah, I mean, so.
They were able to watch at the same time though, right? Or was it only one team could watch?
No, they watched at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
I thought it was funny though how who else did that challenge with the questions other than Leo and Alana?
Hung and Chi,
and they got it on their second try.
Yeah,
I think. And it's just funny to me how they kept. The question was how many what was it? Not the swords, the other weapon.
Axes?
Not the axes. What was the other? There was one more, I think, right?
I believe it was
spear.
Oh, right? Spear. Yep.
How many spears were there? And I think the answer was like
how many
5 or 6? Yeah.
Fought with an axe. How many warriors in battle carried spears, and how many times
spears?
You call out.
So the answer, I think, for the spears was like 5 or 6 or 7, something like that, and everybody was getting it 6. Then Leo comes up, and they're like, "How many warriors carried spears?" He's like, "42." Like, what? Leo, there were not even 42 people in battle. Like,
you know what? When you think you got the answers, Leo changes the question.
And they even tried to divide. Okay, you count.
Each person would have had to carry like 4 spears for that to be correct. Like, it wasn't even close.
I'll count the sword. You count the spears. I'll count the axes. I mean, that's really what they had to do. I mean,
after the first try.
Yeah, right. That was funny.
Yeah, but they were confused as to what counted as a spear and what didn't. I mean,
well, right, and I mean,
understandable, kind of.
kind of like in the previous episode, like especially on the first go around, like everything is coming at you so fast, and everybody's only got two eyes, so like, and stuff's going around behind you, stuff's going around in front of you, stuff's going around you on the side. You can only see so much stuff, but I still would have done that one just because I think that was the easier of the one. Plus the knock 'em out, that's totally up to the director. Like, and I don't know necessarily after the first round, I would have figured out, okay, this is what she's looking for, right? She's looking for tempo. She's looking for, I think, as far as just random.
Yeah, that's where we need Hurls. We need your comments here on your squad, because they had the actors laughing. They were just running through this thing, just just yelling.
Yeah, well, I think that's what got them to win the challenge, though. Remember, they were too quiet.
Yeah,
they weren't loud enough.
They were just yelling at like the randomest like times where like the yelling wasn't necessary, like in between each each thing, or like it was over at the end, and Aswar was like, like it's over, you got it, you don't need to yell anymore.
Who got it on the first try? I think the Volley Bros didn't they?
Yeah, I think they were the only ones.
Yeah, because everybody at least did it twice.
Will and James took him 2.
Yes.
And I think Gary and D'Angelo took him 2 times.
3. I want to say they did 3. Or was it 2?
Twice?
It was only twice?
Because D'Angelo was worried about his costume, and Gary was just like worried about running through it. And of course, Gary was actually ahead of D'Angelo, which is why the director had to stop them.
Yeah.
Because D'Angelo.
Was it only 2? I thought.
I think it was 2.
I'm pretty sure
it's
2. I could be wrong. I'm gonna go back and watch it again, but I'm pretty sure it's 2. Because that's the thing. Like that's the other reason why I would it's easier once you, especially since the other challenge was it's the same repeating scene. Right. Yeah. It's the same questions. It's the same scene. Okay. You focus on the swords. You focus on the axes. I'll focus on the spears.
I think the blondes got through it pretty quickly.
They did.
They did.
I think it only took them 2 tries.
2 tries, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the big turning point from them getting out ahead of Leo and Alana, because Leo and Alana were just there. I mean, gosh, probably an hour, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that long, but I think Iswar and Aparna, it took them at least 4 or 5 tries to get the knockout. So, yep. But I think that was just Leo and Alana. They had the breakdown, and there it was.
And once again, Leo saved him again, because he got him to at least Alana to calm down. And
but I think he was the one, though. She was the one who got Leo to stop thinking about 15 to 20, and she's like, okay.
Yeah.
Right. She was actually the one who kind of set that up, but.
That's true. I think they said that in the show too, that like they do a good job of balancing off each other, right?
Yeah, exactly. So then the next task they had to go, the Nomad Village teams would find the yield and their next clue, which instructed them to lead a camel laden with possessions to an empty yurt. There, teams had to set up the interior to match an example, which included procuring a boiled sheep's head from the nomads to receive their next clue.
Gross.
Yeah, this was kind of crazy. I think how many teams went up to try to get that sheep's head without the
that was the best part was what is their names? Kaylin and Haley? Right?
Kaylin and Haley, yeah.
I always think it's like Halen and Kaylee, like I getting it mixed up, but that was great when they were up there, like they realized they need the head, and they were up there like, oh man, we need the head, and then like, can we have it? Hello, can we have it? And clearly the people were told not to respond because they were just ignoring them. Right. So they're like, oh wait, maybe we should go get the plate.
Well, they weren't the first person. Wasn't there another team too that went up there and they didn't know? I thought it was like Hung and Chi or something went up there.
There was a lot of. I think a few teams did it.
Yeah. Daniel and Gary did too. Yeah, they all kind of because they were all like our guide didn't give us the sheep's head with the plate. So.
Well, we're glossing over the best part of any of the entire season so far, as well as James or Will, one of them. Who was it?
Yep.
Oh, what? I can't remember.
One of them. I
Says.
feel like it was Will.
Mhm.
It was the one who tried out for the show 9 times.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it was, right? Wasn't it the one with
I thought
the
his name
brown
was
hair?
James. I thought his name's
Then
James.
it was the dark-haired one who did it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then that's if that's James, then it was James that did it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, to me that's just a great move. I mean, and it worked. They yielded Leo and Alana.
Well, I think I think if you're the Blondes, you had some motivation from last episode that they didn't get.
But they weren't gonna. They said they were not gonna use it.
They weren't going to use it. I had 2 thoughts, which I think I said in episode 4.
But ultimately, they did, though.
Yes.
You know.
But they had no choice because the clue told them this is your last time to use the yield. If you're going to use it, this is it.
To me, they should have used it on their own after Leo fucked them over last episode and didn't call him sauerkraut.
Yeah.
And so my second thought was good. I'm glad the clue said that. My second thought was that yurt that they made. If they would have had to stay there that night, I don't know if that was warm enough because I think it was Eswar said it feels like it's -10. That was my
Parna. Yeah, Parna.
Parna, yeah.
Yep.
Where it's -10. Holy crap. That's cold. I don't care what part of the country you live in.
Yeah.
-10 is cold. And if I have to stay in basically this tent, which had a window, which was nice, but wind shift kicks up some snow, kicks up some ice. It's a chilly night. So I mean,
though, I thought the clue said that there was only one other yield after this. I didn't think this was the last one. Okay. I thought they said there was only like 2 more turns left or whatever. Mm-hmm. But no, you're right. I mean, if you're going to use it, you might as well use it. I think it was a good play. But the fact that they had to be talked into it kind of seemed like...
That's the thing. That's the thing. You shouldn't have to be talked into it. And especially since you got there, you killed the speed bump, and then you're standing there going, I don't know, what should we do? Should we use it? Should we not use it? Should we use it? Not use it? I don't know. It's cold. We got to make this thing.
Yeah.
Like they're standing there, they haven't even started to build it yet. You use that, and especially if you which they did. They had the 20-minute. They had the 20-minute timer.
Yeah, they had the 21. Yeah.
So you use it, and of course, Alana and Leo, and even when Alana and Leo got there, they were like, "Oh, okay, well, we're a little disappointed, but we totally get it. We would have done the same thing."
Yeah.
It's essentially what Alana said. So, I mean,
yeah.
What? How do you have to be talked into this?
I mean, Will and James were the main culprits, but the Volley Bros also said to do it too.
Yeah.
Yep, they did.
It wasn't just them. Yeah.
They were trying to act like they weren't a part of it, but they were right there.
They totally did.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You're racing. Do you want to continue to play, or do you want to go home? Because if you want to go home, then just stand out there and don't build it, and call it done. Say, you know what, we've had a good time. I got to go to Kazakhstan. Blah blah blah. We're done.
Here's the thing. Honestly, though, I think for them using that yield, and I don't know what the timing or the editing was. I don't know, but I think it actually saved
Eswar and Aparna. It did.
Yeah.
It did. Absolutely.
I think if it's all even, I think Leo and Alana beat Eswar and Aparna. I hate to say that it's the team I picked, but it just it really seemed like that. And the Blondes you saw, they got out to they passed Eswar and Aparna.
Mm-hmm.
And Leo and Alana getting Neil, it seemed like they got the challenge done relatively around the same time the other two teams did. It didn't seem like that much time. So I think if it saved anybody, it was Eswar and Aparna.
Absolutely.
I like how the Blondes were so hesitant to do it. They were like, "Hey, is this challenge hard?" And James is like, "It's the hardest one of the competition. You have to use it."
I mean, he may be right. It did look like it took a while.
I'm sorry. Like, okay, I know I picked Will and James to win this thing, but they are playing this game beautifully, just beautifully. They have their alliance. They have 5 teams who's they literally got the help in the episode prior. I don't know if they would have got sauerkraut right off the bat. They got the help there. They wanted Leo and Alana out, so they convinced the Blondes to use it. They used it, and well, we know what happens at the end of the episode. I mean, I feel like they're playing the game. Like, I'm glad I picked this team. Not that I have like anything for them other than the fact that I picked them, because if I didn't pick them, there's other teams I'd be rooting for. But
sure,
I feel like they're playing the game better than any other team right now.
Oh, they're definitely playing it. They're playing a really good manipulation game, which you're supposed to do.
And I would say Gary and D'Angelo are playing it the second best.
Yes, they're playing it very well too. They're just reaping the rewards and not giving.
There you go. So it's working.
But it's fine.
All
right, let's talk about this though.
Good.
Let's talk about the hung. I mean, where was that part? Was it D'Angelo asking the clue or on how to do something? Hung.
Yeah.
Hung says, she tells him, you got to go over there.
Yeah.
And then the frickin' taxi ride from hell between Hung and Chi. Chi's just looking at Hung with disgust. There's some friction there. I'm thinking Chi's thinking divorce.
And you would have thought, because she said it in this episode. You would have thought, like, and she even said it, like, literally after she did it. She's like, "Why did I do that?"
Right.
Yep. She's too nice. Nice, because I feel like if they're racing to the finish line with like Gary and D'Angelo and like $1 million on the line, and D'Angelo's like, "Hey, wait, let us pass you. We really need the money." She'll be, "All right, go ahead."
Right.
I shouldn't have done that. Damn.
When one feud ends, another feud blossoms, and I think we got our next feud, fellas. I think it's going to be Hung and Chi versus Gary and D'Angelo.
I think you're right.
Yep.
I have a feeling this is just. I mean, I don't know.
I think she's too much of a wimp to make it a feud.
My guess is
she's too nice.
Even if Hung and Chi don't help D'Angelo and Gary again, the volleyballers probably won't help them now.
Well, yeah, and from what we saw in the preview, yep.
They didn't look too thrilled. I mean,
no.
Well, that alliance. I mean, you're down to what, 6 teams now?
Yeah, we're down to 6.
So it has to end. I mean, it has to end now.
Unless they conspire to get the Blondes out next episode.
Come on, the Blondes are too hot to conspire to get out.
But they're not part of that pact.
They are.
Yeah, but they're gonna get them. They're gonna get themselves out. The Blondes. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
If you're the Blondes, just for half a second, if you're the Blondes, you can't trust Eswar and Aparna because you don't necessarily know where they're going to be in the race.
I'm sorry. There's no way the Blondes are lasting another episode. They're done.
No,
there's no way that they, unless it's Eswar and Aparna, I cannot see them passing any of those other four teams. There's no way.
I'm predicting. Well, I'll name off the placings for this episode, and then we can talk about what we think's going to happen.
Well, we could do our power rankings then, because.
Well, yeah, we'll do the power rankings soon. But the final task was teams had to search the meat market for their next clue. I don't think anybody really struggled too much on this. I think editing just made it look a little like, oh, where is it? Oh, it's upstairs.
I thought they made it funny with. Oh, go ahead.
They made it for about 5 minutes. They probably struggled. They were like, "Where is it?" Go ahead. Yeah.
I thought it was funny with the Blondes when they were frantically looking for the clue, and they thought that guy was going to give them the clue, but all he did was tug on their beard and laugh.
And at them. He laughed and pointed, which that's a double whammy.
And he had like no teeth.
Right. Yeah. Although the volleyballers did like their beards. They thought they were.
I'm telling you, there's something going on between the four of them.
It got their approval. It looked authentic. So.
And then we had the pit stop at the First President's Park where they have. It's not like they have like what, apples? Is that what you said? Apple?
Yeah, apples.
Apple Fest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, we had Will and James taking first. Goldberg, you want to comment? Another first place victory, the third of the season.
Another trip.
Yeah. Another trip. What do you
Yeah.
What do you know?
No, they definitely needed that trip. Because when they win, the $1 million is just not enough. They need those 3 trips to go along with it. So, but you know what? I think the top 3, like I keep saying, is just so interchangeable. So I wouldn't be surprised Will and Jameson first. I wouldn't be surprised if Hung and Chi finished first next week, or the volleyballers. I think those 3 are far and away the top 3 teams right now. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. Volleyballers taking second. Hung and Chi taking third. D'Angelo and Gary taking fourth. Calbert, what'd you think of their performance?
I thought they did all right. I was a little worried because it took them a little bit to get the head for the award. But I mean, other than that, I thought they did all right. And you know what? I mean, like, good. If they are now the if they got the target on their back because they're the ones that are using the alliance to their advantage and no one else's, then okay, fine. They got big broad shoulders. I think they can handle it.
Yeah. I mean, they slipped up a little bit this episode compared to the Germany, but it was nothing for cause for concern. Halen and Haley surprisingly coming in 5th here. I think it was a good week for them, to be honest. They had a speed bump. They used a yield. I think they did a good job. I really did. I mean, that was one of their better legs that they've done. So I give them props for moving up a spot.
They did a really good job making that York too. They really did.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we got to do. Boom, let's go. Like, everybody else was like, oh crap, the carpet isn't necessarily, the carpet's in the wrong spot. We got to put it over here. Oh, that's not tied up strong enough, or tight enough. They were just like, all right, let's just go to work. And they kind of just put their head down and went to work, and they're around because of that, I think.
Yep. And they got it done quick. So
yeah.
So 6 Iswar and Aparna. I just I was not impressed. Like, it just took them 4 tries to do the knockout, and they didn't do the example that well.
No offense, Harold, but I did not want to see my boy Leo get eliminated here. I was hoping Iswar was.
Hey no, Iswar and Aparna. You need good. They're probably one of the most likable teams as far as not causing any drama, and they haven't got themselves into any, and seems like they help out anybody they're with. So they're definitely the friendly team of the.
I think they are. They're lucky that the Blondes are still around.
Yeah, I would agree.
I honestly thought that this was going to be, because kind of like we were talking about in the previous episode, because they start so slow. I thought this was going to be like, okay, I know last week in the power rankings I had the Blondes last at that point, and I thought, well, that's it, they're going to be done. And then I had Eswar and Aparna right behind them, and that's just because they start so slow. And again, they start slow this week, and again they survive, but they can't rely on the Blondes forever. I mean, it's going to be impossible.
Here's the thing. All it takes is a Leo to say 42 or 20 or 15,
that's true.
And be stuck at there, and for the game to be played. I mean, who's to say any of those teams, get some kind of crazy circumstance, and there it is.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Yeah.
So
I think their days are numbered, just along with the Blondes. It's just by happenstance that I think they caught a break. I really do, because they'd still be making that thing that York if it wasn't. And that's the thing too. Like, one of them's an engineer. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, they did get the challenge done. It wasn't like any team helped them, So,
yeah. But even being told, like, hey, we pretty much essentially we got to move our ass here. We got to go.
Yeah.
We got to go now.
We got to go quick. Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
Yep. Oh yeah, they need kicks in the butt, and it's unfortunate that they do need kicks in the butt like that. But hey, we're in the top. We're down to 6 teams. So if you're making it this far, you've done something right, So
yeah,
give the Blondes credit too. I mean, hey, they should have been eliminated twice, but you know, and I'm not definitely not putting the Blondes ahead of Eastwar and Aparna. No way. I mean, they should have gotten eliminated twice. They got lucky. I don't see how you could put the Blondes ahead of them. I really don't.
There's no way. It's. I don't see it. I can't imagine. I mean, look, Goldberg, as pretty as they are, they're not getting a third one.
What did I say last week? Last week. What did I say? Just make it to India.
That's right.
Just make it to India. And I didn't even know they were going to India, but I just guessed. Right. I guessed because they go to India like all the time. So,
correct.
You know, like because, you know, when they do their Middle East country, there's only so many you can pick from. And India is one of those countries you can always go to. So, so that was my thinking. Just make it to India. And I don't know, you know, if they can speak the language. I'm going to assume they can. I'll just take a guess they can. So I'm feeling good about next week, though. I really am. But and then sadly, Leo and Alana could not make up the time. They are eliminated. And Goldberg, you seem to have some feelings about this.
Yeah, you know, I hated Leo this whole time, and the guy grew on me the last couple weeks. The move to not tell the Blondes the answer for sauerkraut, it was a solid move. The guy just wanted to win. He really wanted to win, and he turned a corner with these last 2 or 3 episodes, and he made me a fan of him. So I'm a little upset that Leo's. I mean, do we really need Eswar and Aparna? Like, all right, like they provide nothing to this show. I mean, they have no personality, and we're gonna miss Leo. Sorry, Hurls, but we're gonna miss Leo, especially on this show.
That was a shot. That was a shot right to the head.
Am I wrong? I mean,
no. I think you're right. But
who is the least charismatic team on this show?
That's a fair point. Yeah,
it's got to be them. It's got to be Eastwar and Aparna.
I mean, yes. They're definitely I mean, that could be due to the editing. It could be due to another thing. I think if you watch the deleted scenes, you get a lot more Eastwar and Aparna for whatever reason.
That is true, because I did watch when they're picking their little mini trailers and they're staying in these tiny little trailers, and Aparna says to Eastwar, if you fart tonight, I'm going to be really pissed. So apparently he's a farter. So.
Oh, did you see about she like how thirsty he is too? He's been talking about all these hot chicks in every country. Did you see that?
Really?
One? Oh yeah.
Okay.
The pimp.
No, got it around.
Yeah. See? You know.
All right. Never mind.
I think they're kind of like Paint Lick, right? They're kind of like the Paint Lick team where we're like, at least for me, it's like, okay, if they get, I mean, outside of the fact that Hurls picked them, I'll feel bad for Hurls.
How are they like Paint Lick? Paint Lick was just happy to be in the first episode.
That's a low.
Yeah. Well, come on now.
Paint Lick, we haven't seen Paint Lick in like 2 months.
Yeah.
They don't have any personality either. I mean, that's my point. Is that they really
we didn't really get a chance to see Paint Lick's personality.
Yeah. and what we did see, he made his mark. Remember, he was dancing. He was just happy to be there. He didn't care if he got the challenge right or not.
That's funny. That's funny. But I mean, either way, I think Leo took a step on this show, and I'm gonna miss him.
Man. Well, this week it's time for our power rankings, and Goldberg, you started off this week.
Oh shit, do I? Okay.
Yep. So we're going from 6 to 1.
Fortunately, hold on, let me erase Alana and Leo.
Yeah, that's. You know what though? I didn't like Alana. I'm glad to see her go.
I was.
Yeah.
Leo took up the slack
stepped
for both of them. He
did, because
if it wasn't for Leo, if it wasn't for Leo, man, to me, I was rooting for them to be eliminated multiple weeks, week after week, and then he just woke up, man. He woke up, took a new heel approach, and
it was the car slam heard around the world.
Get out. I'll move you out of the way.
Right.
But then even to the team he's supposed to be best friends with,
Yes.
Kaylin and Haley, and
Yes.
he says, you know what? I mean, just keep a lookout. Just be aware.
Well, isn't it funny though how he helped them out in episode 2 in Colombia? How he basically saved them, and then fast forward, they're the team that basically
there were so many teams left at that point that I felt like he didn't think he was going to be eliminated. Now he knew there was a chance that they could be the last team, so he's like, "Fuck this, let the Blondes be eliminated." Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I'll go with mine. Unfortunately, I just don't think the Blondes can get past another week. I'm going to put them last. Fifth, I'm going to go. I mean, at this point, my power rankings are pretty solely based on what we've seen. So I got to go Aparna and Eswar fifth. I think Kaylin and Haley will be thrown out this week, but I don't think Aparna and Eswar are far behind Hurls. I'm sorry to say. Fourth, I have Gary and D'Angelo. And I think, honestly, if Kaylin and Haley were to survive, I really think that Aparna and Eswar or Gary and D'Angelo would be the team eliminated, because I think these top three, and I'm not just saying it because I picked Will and James, but I think the top three have proven that they're better than the other three, up to this point at least. So I have the volleyballers third. I got Hung and Chi second. They're just, and I got Will and James first. But I think the top three are they're interchangeable. But I think my power rankings are 1 and 2, the top 3 teams and the bottom 3 teams.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I'm going to change that 1, 2, and 3, because I think Kaylin and Haley are in their own group.
Yeah. I mean, I could. Yeah, they have a lot of struggles, like a ton.
They should be thrilled that they made it to the top 6.
Because they've had 2 massive screw ups from Michelle.
They got to be done. They got to be done this week.
Well, I like I said, we'll get to it when we do our preview for the next episode. But Calbert, give me your power rankings.
So my power rankings are actually exactly the same as Goldberg's. I have Kaylin and Haley at 6th. They're done. They're done. Start up a car. Get your plane ticket ready. You're going home. Eswar and Aparna, they're singing. The fat lady is singing, and she's singing in key G, so she's getting warmed up. 4, I have Gary and D'Angelo. I think if they, because they did bicker in the previous episode, I think they've gotten that out of their system, because they kind of just yelled at each other, and that was pretty much it. So I think they're good to go. I think they could make it to the top 3. Right now I have them at 4.
Sure.
Riley and Madison, I have them at 3. Hung and Chi, I have them at 2, although that could change. I honestly, to be honest with you, I think we're at the point now where it really is a 2-horse race. I think it's down to Hung and Chi and Will and James. I think those are the top 2. I really do. And I
throwing the volleyballs out of there.
The volleyballers would be 3rd. So yeah, I mean, it's realistically a 3-horse race.
Yeah.
But for this purpose, I'm saying it's a 2-horse race. I really think it's Hung and Chi and Will and James. I mean, the names are going to change, right? I don't think the positions are going to change, but like who finishes first and who finishes second, I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that both of them are that good, and like it's going to take something minute, like helping a team spell sauerkraut, or helping the team get the sheep's head on the plate. That may actually end up costing Hung and Chi. I really think that's it. I mean, none of us picked them, but that's dangerous to me, especially at this point. But
where did we pick Hung and Chi?
They were. I think we all had them like pretty high, actually, like 5th, or I think maybe the lowest person picked 5th. But hey, the episode's there if you want to listen to it. So.
Right.
I think I will.
Go back, see where we gave our preseason rankings for them. My power rankings this week, obviously I'm putting the Blondes at 6. Like, come on, you got eliminated twice, you're saved. I just, what do we know about India? It's going to mess up a lot of teams. I'm just saying. So India's generally is one of the toughest legs.
and it's probably gonna be a challenge that's gonna take them all day to do. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be something in the market. I'm gonna venture a guess.
It's gonna be rough.
So
it's gonna be very rough. 5, I got Eastward and Aparna. Like I said, I'm hoping they have some type of home cooking here and they just understand it better, because they really need to start, like, just get a kick in the butt and just start hustling. I don't know what they're doing. They're not lollygagging, but they're just doing a soft a power walk at this point when they need to be power running. So 4, I got Gary and D'Angelo. I just think with the factors of the alliance kind of crumbling, I think they're gonna be the first out, if that makes sense with the alliance. So I think, we still have a double U-turn coming up, and right now, without Leo and Alana, who's the most hated team right now? I'm starting to see Gary and D'Angelo is probably on that list right now. So they're not making any.
I would agree with that.
You got Hung and Chi mad, and you got the volleyballers mad. So.
You don't. It's I mean, I don't know. If it were me, and it's not, I would say Will and James, just because they win so much, right? So I know that's not how this competition works, but like, that'd be the team that I'd be shooting for. Like, whatever we have left, throw everything at them, right? Make them do the W turn, throw in the yield while you're at it, right?
I see. My power rankings. I mean, okay. Let me just do my top 3, and then I just want to say 3. I have Will and James.
You just won't give these guys credit. You just won't do it.
No, I will not.
I've had Will and James, and
I will not do it.
I don't think you've put them number 1 all season. You know what? We're sick of this shit.
I think I got them at number 2 as my highest.
That's true.
I think I'm at.
What's it going to take to convince you? What is it going to take?
Dude, they either won or finished in the top 5 every single week. I don't know what else they do.
Well, look at.
How about another first place? Would that convince you? Another hotel party?
Yeah.
Another hotel win?
Hey, let's give him $50,000 now while we're at it. Let's more money. I mean, what's more? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised you don't put the Blondes ahead of them. Bro. Come on, show some respect. Show some respect.
I can. But
right,
hey,
go ahead.
I got them at 3. I got at 2. I got Hung and Chi, and 1. I got the Volley Bros.
You love the volleyballers.
I
love them.
I do.
Oh.
Even keel.
So going off of that, then, to go off of what Goldberg said a couple weeks ago, if a team gets eliminated that we don't expect, which sounds like we all expect the Blondes to get on Tuesday. If the volleyballers got eliminated, that would be your surprise team. Like, holy crap, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I think I would be shocked if any of the top 3 got eliminated. Would shock me.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, the bottom 3 would not. If Gary and D'Angelo got eliminated, it wouldn't completely surprise me at this point.
So since it's a mega leg, does this mean both episodes are going to be in India? Because he said double detour, double roadblock.
Yep. That would be my guess.
So after Wednesday, we're going to be down to, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday. Right?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one. It's going to be one elimination, because if it's a mega leg, it's just going to. It's going to be 2 hours. I'm guessing.
So I was going to ask, are we going to be down to 5 or 4?
I think 5. I would say 5.
I'm going to venture a guess. I said this last week. I was wrong. I'm going to try this again. 2 teams are going to get eliminated this week. Because you got to knock it down. You have to knock it down to 4 at some point. So we're on episode.
Well, the last episode is December 16th. So
that would put that would be.
So we have episodes 8 and 9 this week.
Right.
We have 10 on December 2nd.
No, then only one team's going to get eliminated this week.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is the last. I guess
last.
You could say non-elimination.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So that's what I'm guessing.
But wait a minute. If it's the last episode of December 16th, are we having 2 or 3 teams in the final episode?
3.
It would be 3.
Well, But after this week,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
going to be no. It doesn't. That doesn't add up.
Unless there's four. Maybe there's four non-limbs.
Because if you have one team getting eliminated this week, you got 5 teams left. Next week you have 4,
Right.
and then after the
yeah, then it would be
it does make
3.
sense.
Yeah.
On the 9th, you'd have 3 left.
Because
I think it does make sense.
Unless they decide to do what they did season 28, where they did have 4 teams once. It's happened one time just recently.
Yeah.
No. It makes sense. It makes sense. There's going to be one team eliminated for the rest of the way. It does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
After this week, you'll have 5. December 2nd, you'll have 4. And then December 9th, you'll have 3 going into the final episode.
All right. Well, that yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So we're just going to lose the blondes this week. That's all. Which the ratings will go down. The ratings are going to go down, but
so if we're looking at India though, do you think the blondes just get lost and they just have no idea what the heck anybody's saying to them? Yeah.
I don't care if they get lost or if they're literally with everybody else the whole way. I don't feel like there's any possible way that they're doing any kind of competition faster than anyone else.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
They've just weaseled their way by for so long that I just don't see any. And I'm the guy who thinks, oh, well, maybe a team we don't think will get eliminated. I don't think that's happening. I think they're done.
My only one, it's a minor pushback. Not that I don't disagree with anything you just said. Going off of the preview, it looks like Eswarnaparna struggle with something with a telephone where they're talking to somebody and there's a miscommunication. So I mean, this could be the week where Eswarnaparna get eliminated. I mean, not that would be surprising, but it could be Eswarnaparna this week as opposed to the Blondes. I don't think that happens, but
I can't see. It's so hard for me to picture a scenario where the Blondes are in the top 5. Right. I just can't see it. I just can't see them getting by this weekend. Maybe they do. Maybe they do.
I agree.
But I feel like their story is written and it's done. Like getting this far was great, and I feel like it's over. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be shocked though. I'd be shocked if Eswarnaparna go out in India. I really would.
I think the only 2 teams I could see getting eliminated here would be the Blondes and Gary and D'Angelo. Honestly, it based on the fact that it's in India.
It's possible. Yeah.
Right. It's a tough place. It's very tough.
And we've seen Gary and D'Angelo struggle on certain things like the watermelons and arguing here and there. So I don't see any of the top 3 being in jeopardy. And yeah, I guess if Iswar and Aparna have home court advantage,
right, maybe they'll get helped out at some point. They can just ask whoever.
Maybe their uncle's a cab driver and picks them up.
Who knows? Who knows?
You know how it is in India, though, Earls. It literally depends on who you ask in India, because you're right. They may get help from somebody, but if it's in a market, there's no way in hell they're gonna get help. There's no way. There's too many freaking people.
It just depends on if they know the language.
Yeah,
that's a huge bonus. I mean, how many times have we seen India? Nobody knows. They're like all the teams are chickens with their heads cut off, and
yes, they are.
They're flipping out. I mean, this is going to make or break some teams. I think. It doesn't matter if they take first; they're going to have to earn it this week. Yeah. So,
and they're at the point now. They can't start slow. You cannot start slow in India. You start slow, you are going home.
Yeah.
Say Charles Barkley, and this is actually a guarantee. Is a guarantee. You start slow in India, you go home. It happens all the time. Every single time, without fail.
But if it's a mega leg, though, there's going to be a lot of shuffling.
Yes.
Lots of shuffling of the day.
And because Will and James started just because Will and James are going to start first, does not mean that's how they're going to finish.
No.
They could crumble under the pressure too. And obviously it's India, so they're starting in the day. Well, everybody complained about the heat in Colombia about how hot it was, right? The heat in India it's its own beast.
Yes.
It's its own beast. I mean, so it's gonna be interesting.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. I'm nervous. Hey, all three of our teams can't last forever. Well,
Yeah,
unless
but
you win the
pretty
whole
good
thing.
that they're all still in it.
Exactly.
I would say so.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would say so.
Very good. I think if you picked to a team this far, you've done good.
Yeah, I would say so.
All right. We'll be back. Gosh, I don't even know when we'll be able to record. I mean, I'm not really doing much for Thanksgiving, so maybe I'll have time to record. I know Goldberg, you're going to be kind of busy, but
Nah, I'm not like
yeah.
I'm not that locked up. I'll be all right.
All right, maybe Friday or so. We'll see. But that'll do it for this episode of the Amazing Race Recap, episode 7. We'll see you next week for India. Adios.